Thanks for sticking with me. This is the last video in this series and definitely the longest. So we're going to be creating the new landing page. This one is for your back matter. I use this whenever I have a book and it's going out and I want people to subscribe from that book. I don't put this one out in public. Nobody knows about this one, just the people that have read my book. So I am assured that anybody coming in is already a reader, and everything I want to get from them, they won't mind giving it to me because they've tested my product and they like it. So we're going to go through the same routes we did for creating every other email that we've created so far, starting from scratch because I'm using the free plan. But if you're using the templates, please go ahead. I'm going to be deleting all of this to create a blank space or almost a blank space. And you know how it goes. Although I was looking at my former landing page, the one I use for my series, and I right now I don't like them. Though the look is different on mobile when you look at it. But still I don't like them. But this time around I'm going to be creating something more simple or something simpler. So yeah, this is the look I was talking about. It on mobile it looks completely different. It's simple, it's straight to the point, but on web it looks funny, which I know people might not read on the web to get the link, but still. So I'm just going to pull in the books, the covers, and create a carousel, then resize them. I think I used 600 and I locked the aspect ratio, just like I showed you in the previous video how to lock aspect ratios and maintain the quality of whatever image you are making use of. And as always, make sure you use the previewer to see what you are creating. So I checked for it on mobile, checked for it on desktop, and I decided to, okay, you know what, we have a lot of work to do, but there's a lot of work to be done, because why do I have to scroll all the way down before I see what I want them to do? That's too much. So we need to switch and revamp that. So what I went ahead to do was to, okay, let's focus on this part. I'm going to move it all the way down so that people can see the full book in the series. One thing I didn't mention is that I'm creating this landing page for the complete series, so I won't be sending this one out until the last book is out. So I'm only going to write a bonus epilogue for the end of the book. So that's why I'm creating it this way, which is instead of making it for individual books like I did for Lagos Loving, this one is just going to be for the end of the whole series. So it will be like an all of me kind of like bonus scene. And then I'm going to be copying content from my other landing pages that I use for the book bags matter, and I'll be pasting them in here, which is what I basically do. So when I want to create, like on my MailChimp, if this was were to be my MailChimp, I'm doing this because it's the first time I'm creating this here. But if it were to be on my MailChimp, what I'll go ahead to do is to create a duplicate, and then I edit the image, maybe edit some few text, but it's always the same thing. I just change maybe the top part, like, oh, I change the name of the couple, and then I change the, if you can see that Goodreads icon, I also change that. So basically what we are going to be doing here, we're going to be adding those stuff, and this is just me racking my head and thinking of what to put in here about like why I want people to subscribe to the newsletter. Although I know I already bought their trust since they've used my product and they know what to expect. So I'm just trying to tell them a story kind of. So that's what you want to do. And you also want to encourage them to drop a review of the book they just read, because I'm also a reader. It is a lot of work to remember to go and drop reviews. So anywhere you can, always remind people to drop a review of the book. And these are people that have already read your book. So like I said, don't share this link in public, don't share it with anybody. Only put it at the back of your book, like at the back of the book where it matters. And use a bit.ly to distinguish by using a customized link to know which is for which. You can check the back of my books to know the different links I have. So I switched to HTML because I wanted to pull out my Goodreads code to apply that Goodreads widget. So this is how you do it. You go to your authors page, and then you click on, you go to your Goodreads page, and then you click on the author side of the dashboard. So I wanted to get for this book, every step I take a brother. So you click on the, click on your author dashboard. Come on. Yes. Click on that, and when you get in there, you scroll down and you select auto widgets. So this is where the magic happens. So add the auto widgets. So you can either decide to add any of these, you can decide to add the reviews of your book, you can decide to add like, oh, this person liked it, so this is what we want to add, the preview, like, oh, add this to your whatever page. So you're going to then select with that drop down up there where you can see a lot of you. We click on that, and then you select the book you want this for. You have to be the author of that book for it to actually show. So when you select the book you want it for, it will populate the code, and then all you have to do is copy and paste the code and paste it wherever. If you want to do that on your, what they call it now, your WordPress in your on your website, you do that. For this one, I'm just going to be posting it here. You have to know how to read code a little bit, and it's pretty, HTML is simple. So if you read between the lines, you understand what you want, what you need to do. So I'm just going to paste that code in here, of which I struggled for a minute to get back to the normal page, like the text view. So I'm going to paste that in here. The only struggle I do have with Goodreads stuff is that you can't edit the distance between the text. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask them for a lot of things, since they are already my readers. I'm going to ask for their first name, their last name, not last name, I don't ask for last name. But these are all the things I used to ask for, and it's still the same thing I'm going to ask for this time around. So email address, first name, last name. Do I want to ask for last name? Nah, I don't think so. Where you read the book, how did you read this book? Because it helps me know, especially when my books are wide, it helps me know where my most of my readers are coming from. It also helps me know which version of my book is selling the most, or which version of my books are readers reading that come back to drop review or are signed up to my newsletter. If I want to do a giveaway or something in my newsletter or on social media, which part to focus on. So I ask all those questions and fill out the different stores, so they get back to me and I know, okay, this is how I work with these people, I approach them, or this is where this person is coming from. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill this up. And like I mentioned, this is something you can do to understand your market better. You can even ask them for their birthdays if you want to celebrate their birthdays with them, or you can ask them their age range, so you know your the personality of your customers, because they would happily give this to you because now they've tested your product. Next I want to do is, I remember that I had not added the link to this, to the books. So I'm just going to go to my Amazon account, copy and paste that link the um into the page, and then insert that into all the books, because I want the series page. I don't care about the individual book, I want the whole series page. So for those people that have mistakenly get the link to this page, they also know where the book is. Now this is the success page I was talking about in the previous video, where immediately they subscribe they get this. So you click on that place on top to get into this page, and then here is an archive of all my newsletters. So I just want to grab a text or so from an old newsletter and paste it into that space. So you can also do this for readers who would love to go back in time, and also for yourself, like see how easy it was for me to go back in time to pick content and edit right here. So you can do that at the bottom of my all my emails. Like whenever I send out newsletters, I do say, oh, did you miss my last newsletter? So they can click in case they missed a snippet or a freebie or something from the last newsletter. If the freebie is still running, they can click on it and go back and read. And you can read like the whole history and see how my newsletter has changed over the years. So I'm just going to edit all that, and then we move to the next task, which is actually adding an image, because that is also important. So I'm just going to click on that bit over there, and then I wanted to add this, but now I was like, not this. So I wanted to use another GIF image, something like um you've got mail. So that was what I was going for. So you can just type whatever word or text that is in your head and just add GIF, like I mentioned in the first video, and you'd see different options. So these are different options I saw, of which I decided to go with this one, which you're about to see now. Ta-da! I still changed my mind again. And then I created, remember for the other landing page we created, the first one, the one where you put up everywhere, I also went back to edit the success page, which I didn't get to do the first time. So this was what I decided to stick with, this You've Got Mail page, which I think is simple, is cute, and people will understand like, okay, the email has been sent to your inbox, so they go and do something about that. Then I come back in here and I preview the page to see what it looks like on mobile. And I think I like it. So I think something is missing. We need a logo on top. We need a logo on top because if you look at the mobile version, let's see. Yeah, it looks so like straight to the point. So I'm going to add a logo to the top just to give it a break in the look and the feel. But that's like a personal thing, is left to you what you want to do with yours. The form settings are important so you understand like all the privacy policy and all that if you want to insert that in your form. But for the sake of this, I won't be going into that part of the um in quote tutorial. So I'm just going to move it forward and get on with the editing of the look and feel for brand and aesthetics. Like I said, my color is kind of like burnt orange for my newsletter. I'm just going to go around to edit that, and then um just look around for what might be missing. Like there's always something that might be going wrong, so always have and set your eyes on the, would I say, on the ball. And then I think we should preview this again to see what it looks like right now. And bam, 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 here is what we have. Thanks for viewing Fifi Story. That's the web page, which we know nobody will use, but this is a mobile, which actually looks nice. I don't know about that spacing between Goodreads and that content. It's so annoying. If you find a solution, please let me know. But so far, this is what we have. And what's next? And I toggled this back and forth, and yay, we got the text view back. Unfortunately, I still can't find anything to do to this big space between Goodreads and the text below. It is so annoying, as you can see. But I really don't mind. I'm just trying to find the balance between the text and the space and all that. And then I decided to include image, and then I was like, oh wow, this looks actually nicer than having it at the bottom. So I'm going to be deleting this bottom image and just keeping the image by the side after I preview to see what it looks like. So on mobile, here's what that looks like. And I think I'm going to keep the one at the bottom because since I have three other books in the series, it can just be, moving around. And the last book they read to get this link is Every Breath I Take, or the last book they'll be reading to get this link will be this. So I think I'm just going to keep it this way, just previewing it to see what it looks like if I italicize the part that says, if you haven't read blah blah blah. I like the current look, so I'm going to save that and do all the SEO stuff. But since this is not something I'm going to be sharing everywhere, I'm not bothered about that. And I'm going to be adding this, if you can remember, to the simple welcome email. So I'll add the group that will be created into this simple welcome email. So when people subscribe to that one, like we did for the landing page subscribers, they get this email as well too. So you keep adding and adding and adding all of me bonus chapter ML landing page. You keep adding to the simple welcome email that we created, so everybody gets the same email, whether they coming from the landing page or this or that. Like I said, that's just me being lazy. You can decide to create multiple welcome emails to create multiple automations, but for me, it's easier this way, and that's how I'm keeping mine. So you can view like how many times the email has been sent, like the analytics right here. And then I'm just going to go in again and do something else, which is to mostly confirm that the trigger and everything is working and it is sending and adding people to the group I wanted to. Next up, I'll be showing you the tips and tricks for sending like the regular everyday email or monthly email depending on you. Thanks a lot for watching this, and yes, it ended up being 4 videos.